George?
Oh my God!
Running for Mayor of London, are we?
Who are you?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
It's the Joker!
No, George. It's your reckoning.
Smart agenda!
I'm here today with Mr. George Galloway.
You're not the man I was expecting.
Sorry, what?
You're not the one I was expecting.
Sorry, George. It's hired help. Sufyan, what are you playing at, bro? Get out of bed.
You're an imposter! I was pretty sure he wasn't you.
Hired help. Can't get the right help.
Can't get that.
Yeah, that's it. Take all the stuff. Get out of here.
This is splendidly anarchic.
I wish I knew what that meant.
It's a three-horse race. I mean, this is a three-horse race.
You know what, George? I love horses. They're very nice, very majestic animals, and they're very, you know.
Yeah,
they
of course.
Get out of here! What are you doing?
There's horses and there's donkeys.
Yeah.
And a horse can.
Yeah.
Is this the new normal? There's horses.
Yeah. There's
race horses, and there's workaday cab horses. We used to call them.
There's a lot of
pull
them,
horses and carts.
Yeah.
And there's thoroughbreds.
There are thoroughbreds. I like bread. Kingsmill in particular.
And the thoroughbred in this race, I think.
Thoroughbred.
This is splendidly anarchic.
Jam, everything, yeah.
I should have watched your program before I agreed to take part in it.
You should have, George. So, George, Dawood Cameron. You know, where's Dawood Cameron? Oh, sorry, David Cameron. Where's David Cameron going wrong nowadays? You know, what's the deal with that?
I don't know. He should retire to his pig farm in the country.
Ooh.
He's ruining this country. He's a very rich young man, and he's governing this country for other rich young men.
Yeah.
It's government by the rich, of the rich, for the rich. It's the kind of government that we had in power in Britain in the 1950s and the early 1960s. There's more millionaires in today's cabinet than there was in the 1963 cabinet of Sir Alec Douglas Hume, the Earl of Hume. It's Back to the Future for Britain.
I like Back to the Future. It was a good film.
It was a good film, but it's seldom a good idea to go back to the future.
Not a good line. This guy's on fire. Damn. Alright, Mr. George. They say you're running for mayor. But you're quite old, so, you know.
I can still... No, I have a running machine at home, and I run every day. And I've been running all
George,
my...
can we talk about politics, please? I'm not your running regime.
Running all my life.
Good Lord, George.
Some people run, some people hobble, and my opponents are hobbling.
See the way you done that? See the way you done that? Very good. George, I'm sorry to have to do this, but I'm going to have to take your dignity now.
Oh dear. Oh. He's been after that hat for a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is done. Okay, George, what we're going to do, we're going to try spice up this interview.
Okay.
Unlike the BBC, ITV, you know, standard interviews.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 30-second responses. So
30-second, okay.
Yeah. So we give the viewers exactly what they need in 30 seconds.
Okay.
So each question, I'm going to time you.
Okay.
With my...
That'll be a challenge. I can hardly say my name and address in 30 seconds, but I'll see what I can do.
What's a mayor?
Well, the Mayor of London is in charge of London Transport, the London Police Force, in charge of the strategic planning decisions like where new developments go and so on. It's an £18 billion a year budget, employing thousands of people and affecting the lives of millions of people.
He's done it in 23, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, George, do you think David Cameron is doing a good job?
Frankly, it's an insult that you should ask me that question. David Cameron is a posh boy, a phenomenally rich boy. He is not far from here earning £500,000 for the renting out of his house whilst living free in Downing Street. He went to Eton, he went to Oxford. We know the kind of pigs games that he got up to at Oxford. It's government for the rich, by the rich, and there's no sense in which ordinary people have any say in all this. The ordinary people are being made to pay the price for an economic crash that they had absolutely nothing to do with. Look, I know you want this.
How are you going to please everyone?
You can't please everyone, but there are some people who don't need a mayor. If you're rich already, you actually don't need a mayor. The people who need the mayor on their side are the ordinary people, the working people and the poor, who proliferate in London. Despite the views of many in the north of the country, there's more poor people within a 4-mile radius of the House of Commons and the Palace of Westminster than there is in the whole of Scotland or the whole of Wales.
That's time, George. What does it mean to be British?
It just means that you are living here. The British all came from somewhere. 53% of Londoners are from minority communities. They're here because we were there. We went to their countries and stole their things, and in the case of black people, even stole the people themselves as slaves. And so it's a kind of reparation, I say, that they should be here, and it's up to us to make sure that they are treated equally.
It's time. As you know, people have lost faith in politicians. You're a politician. Why should they believe in you?
Well, I think they do. Everybody knows that I say what I mean and I mean what I say. They may hate what I say, they may hate what I mean, but they know that I mean it, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't. Since Tony Blair and the Iraq War, the British political class has been bankrupted of all credibility. So I'm the anti-politics candidate in the mayoral election, and anti-politics candidates are doing well.
How do you deal with the haters?
Well, haters are going to hate. If I know...
That needs to be a meme. Haters going to hate.
You know, if I can work out why they hate me, well, that's fine. I can pass swiftly on. So someone who has on their profile that they support Israel is going to hate me because I'm a big voice for the other side. Where I can't work out why they hate me, that sometimes causes you a moment or two's reflection and maybe introspection, maybe self-criticism. I just treat it in the way a ship's captain treats the sea. It's just something that has to be gotten through.
Okay, I like this question. What's the funniest question a journalist has ever asked you?
Oh my goodness. Not sure it's fit for publication on a show like yours. I don't know, they're usually very far from funny when they're interviewing me. Yeah. They're usually there with a dagger, looking for an opportunity to plunge it into my heart. I'd need to think about that and come back to you.
Okay. What would you like to have achieved when you were on your deathbed?
My dearest wish would be that if not me, my sons, and mashallah I have many children, would walk in a free Palestine. That's the thing I've been most associated with almost all my life, more than 40 years now. I used to think I'd walk in a free Palestine. Now I'll settle for my sons, the youngest of whom is 20 months old. If they can do it, then I would think my efforts had been worthwhile.
Your most embarrassing moment?
On Big Brother, in a leotard.
Was it really that though? Everyone's always hyping it up. Is it really that though?
Well, you know, I raised hundreds of thousands of pounds for Gaza, so it was worth it to make a fool of myself for a moment. But it was pretty embarrassing while I was doing it.
A lot of people just want to know what George is about. Yeah. Alright, he's running for Mayor of London. Yeah, no one's going to bother reading through the whole pamphlet.
No.
No offense.
No.
So your top 3 policies, just for any regular Joe like me, who's just busy with our day-to-day lives, give us your top 3 policies that we should say, this is what George stands for. Go.
Free transport for students, school students, college students, university students will all travel free on London buses and the London Underground. I think that's a pretty important pledge. A police force that operates entirely colour-blind. Colour-blind to the colour of the skin, colour-blind to the colour of the shirt collar. In other words, chasing everyone with equal energy and assiduity.
Your time's up, but I'm going to let you continue because you've only said 1 policy.
Well, that's 2. One on transport, one on policing, and the other one would be on housing. There will be no housing development in London and will be allowed to be built unless 50% of it is affordable housing, because working class people are being socially, ethnically cleansed out of central London.
If you were Prime Minister, what would you change? If you could change what you could change, if you had the power to change, what would be first on your agenda as Prime Minister, not as Mayor of London, as Prime Minister?
To withdraw from all foreign wars and occupations of other people's countries. We can't keep our old age pensioners warm in the winter, but we can set fire to other people's countries all over the globe. Scrap nuclear weapons which can never be used and cost £100 billion, and spend the money here at home. And legislate in the direction of equality. We'll never all be equal, but the direction of travel should always be towards equality.
Alright, George, you can stretch now.
Is that it?
No, now is where the questions actually begin.
Okay.
These are the quick fire questions. You can't change.
Those weren't quick fire? The 30 seconds isn't quick fire?
Okay, George, quick fire questions now. Whatever comes into your head, say it. Yeah?
Well, that could be dangerous if you're me. Okay.
Good luck, George. What did you want to be when you grew up?
A footballer.
What do you love and hate about the world?
I hate injustice and I love people.
Who is more handsome, you or me?
Well, you're a pretty handsome guy, especially when you were wearing my hat.
1 word to describe Donald Trump.
A monster.
Who is most important in your life?
My wife.
A message to the haters.
Haters gonna hate. Dogs bark, the caravan moves on.
Favorite quote that inspires you on a daily basis?
If you are not capable of trembling with indignation at any injustice anywhere, you are not a man.
Your favorite book?
It's difficult to come up with one. If I was on a desert island, I'd want the complete works of Shakespeare.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Most admired person from history?
Comandante Che Guevara.
Best form of relaxation?
Football.
Best form of motivation?
I wake up in the morning and motivated.
Famous country to go on holiday to?
Morocco.
Advice to politicians, people who want to be politicians?
Be yourself and be true to yourself. Say what you mean what you say.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Tireless, committed, truthful.
Who's George?
I've been around a long time. I was born into politics. God willing, I'll die in politics and with my boots still on.
Now, George, you've told us that you're going to do a lot of these things. If we then meet you in about a year's time and then you set the guard dogs on us.
No. No.
But whatever happens, let's just say you do win and then you falter on what you've said to us and then we pay you a visit.
I'll have a town meeting every Saturday afternoon. So every Saturday afternoon, in one town hall of the 33 London boroughs, you'll find me. And you'll be able to say to me, why didn't you do that? So Boris Johnson has one once a year in the O2 that you've got to apply for a ticket for. Everybody in London, every Saturday, will have the opportunity to come and question me. No,
Nice.
no guard dogs.
No guard
And I'll make a date with you now for the first return interview.
I wish you the very best, guys.
Thank you.
Obviously, we're not plugging George, but obviously everyone should have the chance to speak, and you guys make the choice. Whoever you want to vote for, whatever you want to do, it's your lives, and obviously we're giving everyone a platform to speak. Do what you gotta do to get through.
What matters is the plan.
Assalamu alaikum. I'll take my hat off to you, George. Do you watch Smile to Jannah?
I've watched
Be
one.
honest, George. Don't give me a politician.
No. I have watched your one on Islamophobia, which is legendary. It's absolutely brilliant.
Legendary, George.
It's legend.
Is that a beard or is it stubble?
Beard. It's not a beard as magnificent as yours.
I like wearing the kilts. No. It's because I know I have to picture it in my head.
But that's going too far. Cut!
This is supposed to be an interrogation, George. Damn it, George! Nice.
Very good, man. Coming soon to a cinema near you, The Killings of Tony Blair. Some people make a living, others make a killing.